Hi YouTube, I've got another gun test for you today, and this time it's of a Crosman Quest 800X. This model is a 22 caliber, and this was the first break barrel gun that I bought from Crosman. I was pretty excited to see when they got into break barrels. So this gun, I think I bought it in the 04, 05 time period, maybe even 06. And a lot of the stuff I see is about the 1000X and not the 800. So they must not have made this one for very long. It's a good looking gun. Obviously it came with dovetails on it. It has a scope stop, which is really nice. It's got my favorite, these stupid ass fiber optic sights. They're really, really cheap. These are all plastic. The adjustment on them is actually pretty fine. You know, it doesn't, you got some fine movement there, but again, if you watched any of my videos, the trouble is, that thing's so freaking thick that it ruins your sight picture when you're aiming at stuff from a distance away. I think this gun came as a kit, and the scope on it was really bad, and I think I ended up throwing that scope away. It was such a piece of garbage. But the rest of the gun is nice. The wood looks nice. Came with a rubber butt pad. It also came with that nick in it from the brand new. It looks a little bit like the Webley Vulcan I tested in other video, I think. There's your safety in front of the trigger, and it has a trigger adjustment of some type on there. You can kind of see the screw, flathead screw in there. And I believe I have messed with it. I haven't really done a lot of shooting with this gun because I did initially when I got it. And I think at the time, the reason I bought it was because I didn't have a 22 caliber break barrel gun. It wasn't too expensive, as I recall. It was 100, 120. I think around $120. This is all super excited. Got my Crosman air gun, and then I saw that. I'm like, what the heck? I thought Crosman was made, Crosman's made in the USA, and I didn't realize that they were changing stuff over. But then again, it's a nice looking gun, no complaints about the way it looks. It's solid the way it feels when it's racking the barrel. Let me show you. So it doesn't really have too much effort to uncock it. And this one, something I noticed is, make sure safety's off. This one sucks. If you want to uncock it, you can't. You have to shoot a pellet through it. Which, I was thinking of you guys there in the UK where they I guess it sounds like they're outlawing lead pellets. I get to waste a pellet just to uncock my air gun. That's unfortunate. The trigger itself is bent sheet metal, which is nice that it's actually steel. I don't like when they put plastic triggers on things. Trigger guard is plastic, but all in all, it's a nice gun. So why did I quit shooting it a lot? Well, I had a heck of a time getting any accuracy out of it. Part of that's the challenge of shooting a spring piston air rifle that recoils pretty heavily. Long story short, I ended up getting a different mount for the scope to compensate for the barrel droop, and then I was finally able to get this thing to hit stuff more consistently, because I got to learn about air guns, and I guess I should say cheaper break barrel air guns. And this to me wasn't, well, that's what's weird. So my Chinese model 62, the 1985 model, it shot more accurately and consistently than this did. So that was a frustration. So then I had to go, it's great, I get to learn about stuff, but my RWS that I had didn't have to do. That thing was freaking super accurate. And it's a model I haven't featured on here on the channel yet. So at this price point, kind of left something to be desired. But overall, it's a nice looking gun. Let's take a look at the breech. There you can see the rifling down the barrel. And how the thing locks up. It's got a synthetic, whatever type of material that is, for a seal. There's your gas port coming out of the compression tube. This is good, you know, this is a tight lockup. It's not loose. So I'm gonna go shoot at that target in the upper left-hand corner, and I'll show you what the results are. This was the first group I shot using Crosman destroyers, which I found to be a pretty accurate pellet in the past with different guns. And look at that, I mean, that's dang good, except I was aiming for here. I only had one hit here, I had one way the hell up here. And that's about 2-3 inches. And then I started aiming, well, so then I decided to try a heavier pellet, these. And I'm aiming for here, and they were way the hell up here. So, it's like the gun just, I must have felt like the heavier pellet caused something to make the gun jump more and recoil, and the barrel rose up. So I've been shooting, I'll show you the pellets I'm shooting. I don't even know where I bought them from. Looks good, doesn't it? These are premieres, total of 8 shots. What can you say? Guns all over the place. You know, I found kind of a happy medium with the trigger, and I can tell you I hate the trigger. This doesn't really line up, so it's easier to go in through the side. I've screwed this thing in. It's like it never fucking bottoms out. I don't really know what it's doing, but it does seem to make the trigger have a lot less creep. So I guess there's that. It's a hard recoiling gun. It's really not pleasant to shoot. Trigger felt pretty good, then I heard something. Damn screw fell out. This thing is an exercise in frustration. I'm telling you guys. And this one's powerful. You'll see on the chronograph. 679. 687. It's really the first break barrel spring powered gun that I've ever shot that you felt like you were unleashing like a rocket or something. It's just the trigger is, it's just not a pleasant gun to shoot. That Webley Vulcan was a pleasant gun to shoot. My RWS, pleasant gun to shoot. My really cheap Chinese guns, they don't have great triggers, but they don't jump around like this thing. This is like the worst of everything. It looks really nice, but it's powerful, but it recoils, it jumps around, and if a guy wants to, he can put all the time in the world into it to try to shoot it accurately, and you can get stuff dialed in, shooting off a sandbag at a target over here, and we'll go see how I do with the cans. But realistically, when I'm going to shoot the silhouettes, chances are I'm going to miss half the time. So what fun is that? I don't care how much power you have, can't hit anything. That's not fun. So my opinion of this gun really hasn't changed. I was hoping to give it a second chance and tell you guys, hey, if you could pick up one of these used, great deal, but I don't feel that way. Let's see how we do on some cans. That one felt like it hit right dead on. Damn. Yeah. You know, other guys can go put a bunch more time into it and try to make this work. I simply don't feel, I don't feel it's worth the effort. I guess it looks very nice, but it's rather crude. Maybe, you know, this is probably one of the first attempts at a break barrel gun. I'm sure they've learned a lot. Perhaps their stuff's better now, but yeah, this is a gun I wouldn't mind not having. It's been a disappointment. It doesn't bring me joy. Okay, guys, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.